Roasting is not as simple as it seems to the naked eye. Most look at it as the transfer of negative comments between two human beings. But it's much more. It's one of the world's few art forms that blends maliciousness with creativity without anyone being physically harmed. Well, at least that's most of the time. You know how it gets sometimes. Somebody say something that somebody don't like, then it turns into a fight, then it's a whole thing. But besides the point, today I'll be your guide through the world of roasting, from the do's and the don'ts, to be exact. We shall smile, we shall laugh, but most importantly, we will learn. On that note, let's start with the do's of the art form. When the average person is approached by a beer belly Goomba looking ass nigga that's roasting them for no reason, they freeze. And this doesn't necessarily mean they're scared, it just means they weren't prepared. Think like this: a samurai enters a town with their katana, whether they plan on using it or not. Bars. This must be your mindset when it comes to roasting. You must and you will be prepared to slice any motherfucker down if they decide to play with you. And the only way you can efficiently do this is with combo starters. Now, when it comes to combo starters, there's a wide range to choose from. You got
stink booty ass boy. Hell no. Get your ugly ass. If you don't sit down somewhere.
And this is just to name a few. Now, when it comes down to combo starters, it is very, very important, I can't stress it enough, to choose a starter that resonates with you. One of the worst things that can happen is being in the middle of an altercation and you sound like,
get your pistol grip channel somewhere.
That's how you get clipped, posted on TikTok, and bullied for the rest of your adult life, nigga. Whatever it is that you choose to say, the main thing is you want to be confident about it. The name of the game is to make your opponent feel your words so deeply they actually start thinking to themselves,
damn, do my chin look like a pistol grip?
And don't look at combo starters as just a means of offense. Swords, they can attack, but they can also defend. Ah, that shit was hard! That was hard! That was hard!
Yes, sir.
Log back in. When you discover a good combo starter that you've used and you're happy with it, roasting as a whole becomes second nature. By the time your opponent says their first remark, your brain is moving faster than a damn cheetah to deliver your starter. And this is beautiful because since you automatically done says your starter, that gave your mind time to come up with the next thing you're gonna say about your opponent. And this is what all master roasters seek. That moment of clarity to analyze their opponents and break them apart piece by piece. This is where the magic lies. This is where the beauty is in the art form. And funny enough, this is still just a tiny piece of the pie. This is a method that many great roasters don't speak about, but if you watch any of their battles and look very closely, all of them do it. The Uno reverse technique. And no, big forehead ass nigga, I am not talking about the card game. What I speak about today is the art form of turning your enemy's attack against them. Example. You're in a roast battle, it's intense. Your opponent has went from physical appearance to something way more sinister. The fact you get no bitches. For an unexperienced warrior, this could be quite devastating, especially if it's the truth.
But
for a veteran fighter, they have been throwing up the perfect lob to put nothing but shaboing boing in the opposition's face. After being told they get no female companionship before a quarter could hit the floor, they reply to their enemy,
hell no, I get more hoes than Santa, nigga. I was just with one last night, but ain't nobody ever see your ashy lip ass even with a girl. Kieran freaky ass wanted to give you a hug.
What we all just witnessed was a flawless Uno reverse. Let us dissect exactly what just occurred. After the experienced warrior was told that he gets no bitches, his mind put together 13 reasons why his opponent definitely gets no play. And this roast wasn't done with carelessness or a lack of skill. No, this was a precise, accurate shot. The first thing the warrior says,
"Hell no, I get more hoes than Santa, nigga."
This statement displays in a humorous manner that the warrior does in fact get play. And the claim is backed up instantaneously with,
"I was just with one last night."
what is being done is something that was taught to all of us in middle school. I hope to God it was. C-E-R. That is simply what just occurred. And if you're still wondering where the reasoning is at, Negro, you still have much to learn. The reasoning lies within the last bit of the roast.
But ain't nobody ever see your ashy lip ass even with a
Girl.
Kieran freaky ass wanted to give you a hug.
The warrior simultaneously validates his last claims and humiliates the opposition by pretty much saying, how are you gonna tell somebody they get no female companionship when nobody has even seen you getting a kiss with them ashy ass lips? And the ashy ass lip part, that was just insult to injury. It was unnecessary, but that's also adds flair to the roast as a whole. The true cherry on top to this whole insult is the fact that a known bop won't even give the enemy a hug, which makes this just that much cruel. Quick disclaimer though, Uno reverses is a very, very valuable technique. Don't get me wrong, but they can most definitely explode in your face if what you're saying is a flat out lie. Imagine delivering that Santa line and you get no hoes. Now you just gave your enemy a reason to go 10 toes deep into that ass. You just told a blatant lie in front of a crowd of people. And I'm not saying that every roast that is told is 100% factual. 9 times out of 10, it's just a dramatic version of reality. Just be wary to not say a super outlandish lie, cause you might find yourself in a dire situation. You know how on FPS games when you get a headshot it does way more damage? Use this logic in the terms of roasting. When you shoot your gun, which is your words, you want as many of those shots to hit as hard as they possibly can. Now, how does one do this? Simple. Say the thing that everyone has already thought. Huh? Let me elaborate. The class clown walks into the room, right? Everyone loves this guy. He wears nice clothes, he talks to the pretty girls, and word on the street, he got a 12-inch on him. It seems to be that we have the modern day Hercules amongst us. Wrong! There's this one blatant thing about him that everyone has noticed, but nobody has spoke up about. This nigga teeth is more yellow than a grandma's lemonade on a hot summer's day. So any great roaster in a scenario like this will store this information for the perfect moment to present itself. And that moment arrives. One day you catch yourself in a meme mashup with Mr. Class Clown himself. And you would be nervous if it wasn't for the secret weapon you have been storing.
Man, if you don't shut your 24 karat magic mouth ass up.
Silence fills the room. Everyone is baffled by what they just heard. Did he really just say that? Like magic, the whole room, including the class clown, notices something at the exact same second. That nigga teeth is yellow! Laughter breaks out, your crowned prom king, and the story ends happily ever after. I've seen many crits in my lifetime, but the number one takeaway from all that I've seen, bring attention to the thing that everyone has already subconsciously thought. And yes, sometimes this could be luck-based, but a lot of the times there are very obvious things you can bring up. Guys think all the time at the gym, crit. Girls switch between 10 boyfriends in a month, crit. Teacher always got his butt crack out, crit. If you do this correctly, just like our hero did today,
I guarantee to you,
the whole room will be laughing their buttocks off. Rarely will you find yourself ever isolated with your opponent. 90% of the time, there's a crowd watching, being entertained by the banter. Obviously, this could be a bad thing, but if you play your cards correctly, this could be a blessing in disguise. Before we get into how to perform the technique, I just have to say, a big thing you gotta understand about crowd control is that you cannot force it whatsoever. It doesn't matter how good your roast are, it doesn't matter how popular you are, if the crowd is not feeling you in the heat of the battle, there's no way on God's green earth they're coming to your aid, especially if they're friends with the enemy. So how do you get the crowd on your side then? Gradual involvement, as I like to call it. Let's say you're in the middle of a roast battle, you're surrounded by a crowd. What you want to make sure you're doing is looking out for people that are laughing extra hard at your jokes. Because 9 times out of 10, if they find what you're saying is funny, they're way more likely to come to your aid. And I'm talking about, it doesn't matter if that's the person you're roasting cousin or not. Now, after finding a potential ally, this is where the gradual part comes into play. You want to slowly invite this person into the banter. And it could look something like this. Sasquatch feet ass, bro, ain't his feet overly big? Yeah, them feet is kind of big. This is exactly what you want. You asking this bystander for aid doesn't come off as super needy or thirsty. And now you know somebody is willing to back you up in the middle of this battle if need be. Just don't overdo it by leaning too much on your support. They're strictly for adding insult to injury for the roast you already delivered. Hey bro, ain't his feet big? All I simply did was ask the bystander to confirm the roast I already made. And if he confirms it, that kind of validates what I'm saying is true, which makes the initial roast more hurtful, which is why I was talking about earlier, hitting a crit. Now, with all the knowledge we have gone over today, you're at the halfway point of becoming a force to truly be reckoned with within the roasting world. But with the do's comes the do nots. Now, I'm not gonna give a long I had a dream speech with this section or anything. I'm gonna quickly run you all through this valuable knowledge. Self-explanatory, if you stutter, your ass is grass. You just gave your opponent a free roast because they're gonna hit you with the iconic
stuttering ass.
And God knows this is not easy to bounce back from. Just want to mention quickly, combo starters do not count for this, but yeah. Don't spam roast. You're just gonna look desperate and butthurt when you start saying the same thing over and over again. Like, we all get it. The guy you're roasting is a bit on the chubby side. Let's move on. As the fine print states, if you're gonna talk about dead pets and chunky mamas, just be ready to squabble up. Unless you're friends with your opponent or the person you're roasting has very tough skin, this could be extremely dangerous territory to play around in. We've all witnessed the notorious
I know you not laughing.
If you're not ready to get in the ring, don't be hooting and hollering on the sideline. Now, let's be honest, we all been there before. Someone says something that cuts a bit deep and we go from 0 to 100 in a blink of an eye. Don't be that person. I know it's easier said than done for sure, but trust me when I say not taking things seriously ascends the realms of roasting. In life period, you'll enjoy things much more if you remove ego and pride out of the equation.
Subscribe, like, and share with a trusted adult. And no, my cousin Eli does not threaten my life to make this video. Bye.